about to burn it down. Yeah, it's imminent, flying through the air. There's no equivalent. Feel it flowing through my veins. We're taking off into outer space. Oh, ain't gonna stop. Oh, till we on top. Let's get it lit, yeah, we're killing it. Take a trip, how you feeling it? Break it down, brush it off, we can't quit. We on fire, let's get it lit.
When you have alignment within your business, that is when chaos can go to clarity, because you really know who you are. But if you think about alignment, it's a big word, and it's quite deep work. So when I thought about this, and I have done it for the last 10 years, I was thinking, actually, resets become a big part of what alignment is. And I've described this kind of model as a sort of jigsaw puzzle. On the outside of the puzzle, there is lots of little resets that we do all the time. And that kind of forms the framework of this jigsaw puzzle. But in the middle of it, the thing that really gives you that technicolor picture is alignment. It's understanding who you are and what are the demands of your life, and showing up with integrity and authenticity. When you are aligned to what you're doing, you start to see clarity in what you're doing. The windscreen is white, clean. You get a sense of direction, and you do that with authenticity because you are looking at who you are and how you work in that scenario. Without alignment, success feels very heavy. I'm going to talk a little bit about my why. The reason I care about this so deeply is because I also came from a place of chaos. Like many of us in this room today, we're all here from a journey of some sort of chaos or some sort of difficulty. When I was 10 years ago now, my marriage was breaking down, and I found myself in a situation where I had 2 young children, no money in the bank, and I was lost. On the outside, I looked very successful. I was working on TV as a set designer, as an art director, on pretty much any show that you can imagine. I've worked on them all. I've done all sorts of genres, X Factor, all the way through to costume dramas. I lived in Kensington, a lovely part of London, and it looked like my life was great, but on the inside, I was really lost. And actually, it was through this moment of feeling extremely lost, one day in a supermarket where I literally fell apart. I was crying in the supermarket. And I remember on that day thinking, I have 2 choices here. I went home and cried. You know the crying that you do when you don't know whether there's anything left. You cry everything out of your body. It was in that moment that I thought, okay, I've got 2 choices here. I either continue to wobble and potentially lose my children, which is my biggest fear, or I'll do something about it. And luckily, I chose the reset of doing something about it. This moment forced me to build my career around reset and alignment, and that is what I've done. So talking about resets is an important thing to do, but I just want to make sure that I've got the right people in the room. If you are somebody who gets up every day and is thinking about what they have to do in that day, then this is for you. Do you ever find yourself being busy but not really productive? Hands up if you find yourself, I'm really busy. But actually not getting anywhere fast. Anybody say yes when they mean no? Hands up. And one of these things that I hear quite a lot is scrutiny, self-scrutiny, where people they make a mistake and then they play it over and over and over in their head because they think, oh my God, what have I done? You're successful on paper, but you're exhausted privately. In this room, you can hear, I can hear, this isn't a motivation. Would you say that any of you are unmotivated or don't know where to start or don't know what to do? We've heard a lot about the ideas earlier. This is a misalignment problem. And that misalignment gives you that lack of clarity that doesn't give you the opportunity to move forward. I loved it just now when we were looking at all of those things on that piece of paper about what you need to do to build a successful business. And absolutely, you need all of those things. But if you are not aligned with what you're doing, and if you cannot see or feel what it is that you want to do, it's very hard to move forward. I mean, you can move forward, but sometimes you take so much mental energy that it exhausts you. Resets can be very powerful. One of the things that I often talk about I made a decision to change overnight. So when I was living in London a few years ago, I used to drive my daughter every day to school along the embankment. And I used to get in the car, and I had, I'm ashamed to admit it, quite bad road rage. Doesn't look like it, right? Doesn't look like it. But actually, put me in a car against London traffic, and I found it so hard to not get upset when people break the rules. And of course, it's London, right? So people break the rules quite a lot. So every day, I get up, put my armour on, get in the car, ready to go. And the other kind of hangover of that was actually my children learned to swear quite young. But it was one day I was driving along and ready to fight the London traffic, and this car along the embankment just cut me up so severely that I was frightened. But I was also really angry because I caught the guy when he was kind of just stopping past me. He smiled at me. And I was so furious. I was livid. I was like, God, the window was down. I was like ready to get out. The kids were scared, and I was like so angry. And then anyway, I went on passing him, snarling at him as I drove past. Got to school. My daughter came out, and then I got in the car. And I was still feeling this anger, this like real kind of physical rage. And I got all the way home, and I sat down, and I thought, oh my God, I'm still so angry. I'm livid. And then I just thought, oh my God, why am I so angry? I mean, that guy, he's smiled at me. He's driven off. He's probably carrying on with his day. Nothing to worry about. And here I am, harming myself with all of this anger for what? I can't win against London traffic. There's no way I'm going to win against London traffic. So I made a decision in that moment that I was going to change the persona of who I was when I got in the car. And that was a reset for me. That reset was, when I get in the car, I want this calm, really zen-y kind of person. Because I'm never going to meet London traffic. And that is what I did nearly all the time. Do really well and stuff. That was a reset though. So if we look at the framework of this jigsaw, we have to reset often. And I think one of the most important things here is it's not just about resetting, it's about the time that it takes to reset, right? So that gap in the middle needs to get shorter and shorter and shorter. Once you recognize that you need to reset, then we need to think about how we shorten the time. And some of the things that we need to reset, I'm just going to give you a few. Emotional reset. Right? Sometimes we have things that happen to us that really evoke an emotional reaction in us. And actually it's really important that we get regulated fast so that we can carry on. So for example, if someone sends you an email with criticism, right? You kind of sit there and you kind of have an emotional reaction. And there's so many ways to read that email. If we can just snap out of it and look at the facts, then we have a faster chance of moving on. So emotional resets are a big thing. Narrative resets, making stories up about things that have happened. We're so good at making things up. Somebody says something to you or gives you a look and you're like, oh, but or they have done something wrong, or they're giving you a dirty look. Those narrative resets they can become so big, and actually they can mean very, very little. Behavioural resets, boundary resets, energy resets, these are all really important, but these are all these tiny shifts that we have to do to get us out from where we are to where we want to be. The alignment bit is the deeper work. The picture is the deeper work. And actually, I've had this proprietary tool for the last 10 years. It's called the Integrated Alignment Compass. And it looks at all these 12 parts of your life, and you really interrogate them to see whether you are truly aligned with that part of your life. What is going on in that part of your life? And when you do that, you get this wonderful blueprint of exactly what you want to do, exactly where you want to go, exactly how you want to do it. So it's really important that you find out, who am I with? How do I operate? What is it that really turns me on? When reset and alignment work together, when we get the full picture, the jigsaw, then we can actually move forward with clarity and direction. Clarity and direction become normal, but the most important thing is that we're doing it authentically. And every day we wake up and we know what we're going, because the journey has been mapped out for us. It's the work before the work. So before you start your business, I would love to sit with everyone and make sure that they're aligned and they know how to do resets, because resets are fast. It's the work before the work, and it's the thing that's going to really help. I'm going to give you one tool to take away with you today. It's a very simple tool, and it's the 2-minute break. And essentially, when you wake up in the morning, you're talking about adrenaline. When you wake up in the morning, adrenaline goes up, right? And then you start your day, and when you're in that cortisol zone, it's so difficult to bring the nervous system down. Sleep is my number one thing in my practice. It's so important that we learn how to sleep, why we're not sleeping, and all of those things. So if cortisol is high, it's very difficult to sleep. If you don't sleep well, then the next day is affected. And you might think about things in the night, lucidity is high, and it's very difficult. Now, in order to stay out of that cortisol, the other thing cortisol does, by the way, is it also upsets the nervous system and the digestive system. So we really want to make sure that we don't get to that cortisol. And this is all about managing the adrenaline. The 2-minute break, which has got a lot of evidence behind it to actually impact the nervous system. But essentially, if we wake up in the morning and we work for an hour, so when we've got a 2-minute break every hour, what happens is in that 2-minute break, is all you want to do is come down and notch your tube from where you are, and that adrenaline dips down. And if it dips down successfully, it takes another hour to get back to where it was. So essentially, if you do that 2-minute break every hour, you're keeping your adrenaline on a level, which gives you a better chance to sleep at night, and therefore have better sleep the next day. It's simple things like these, they're very practical suggestions that reset the eye. I know I'm running out of time, right? Stress isn't the problem, it's unmanaged stress that is the problem. I am going to close now. The formula I live and work by is alignment and reset. Alignment is the foundation, reset is the practice, and sustained success is the result. If this resonates with you, and I've got another 6 strategies that I do share, and a little bit more for a deeper understanding of alignment, I do a free talk every 2 weeks online. So if this is something you want to know more about, then just join me on my free talk. The next one's on the 24th of March at 6 p.m. Just come find me in office if you need to.